time of possession is the way it is and the plays are the way it is, how tough is it to get the rotations going at receiver? Did you play as many guys as you thought you were going to?
No, we didn't play as many guys as maybe we had hoped and wanted to. Just the way the game worked out, you look at it, up 21-0 after 15 plays of offense. And then as it moves forward, you have 10 series, and in the second half, you only have 4. And so sitting there with 4 series, I would have loved to have been able to play guys a little earlier, get them in for a couple of series. It didn't present itself that way. I've got to be a little more mindful on making sure maybe some of these guys get in a little earlier. But that's how it unfolded. But that was a regret. I wanted to play. We wanted to play more guys and get them a little more access.
Jeff, you had a little adversity in the offensive line. You had to come up with another. You moved guys around a little bit, then guys during the game either got injured or cramped or whatever. Kind of do a deep dive in that position. How well did you feel like they played? And do you have some more moves you're going to have to make or anything?
Yeah, we've got to continue to develop guys, and I think that's part B to the first question. Really, is you got to play guys to develop guys. You got to live experience. That's the reality of it. And so, our guys are ending up in a really good spot from a depth standpoint, but we've got to continue to develop that position. We played multiple guys up front, so it was good for some of those guys to get that action towards the end of the game. They got 9 plays when we went and got the field goal late, which was good. But we feel good about where we're at, want to play better, and that's all the way around. We're nowhere close where we need to be. I think we're all aware of that, but excited about the number of guys that we have in that room to be able to go play the season.
Jeff, I just wanted to ask you, did it feel like 2019 again with Dillon, going on the phone with him, talking, working him through that, and did it remind you of just his debut?
Yeah, it felt great. And, we talked about it in the hotel Friday, and then on Saturday, obviously, both of us just incredibly thankful for the opportunity that we both have, and then to be able to doing it together when you're having fun, you care about the people that you're around every day. You got a chance to pour a little more into it, and so that's something that's been awesome for us, and excited for him to be able to go get that opportunity. His first outing was good, and he's going to continue to play better.
How do you feel like your guys handled the tempo of the offense that you want to run, and in the first time for a full game? And what do you feel like is the most important piece of accomplishing running the offense as fast as you want to?
I thought we were close. I thought from a tempo standpoint, we played pretty fast when we got the first down, and that was probably the most disappointing thing was the 2 3 and outs. We've got to continue to clean up what we call our ball mechanics, making sure that the ball is getting back inside, not getting left on the ground and getting left on the sideline. And if we'll do those things to continue to clean it up, we'll be where we want to be. But I thought the guys, man, I thought they tried to play fast and did a good job operationally.
And what do you feel like is the most important thing to running the offense as fast as you want to? And you talk about the ball mechanics. How do you work on that? What do you tell them to try to accomplish that piece of it?
Well, every day in practice, we've got managers out there that act like officials to make sure that those guys are getting the ball back inside constantly and not leaving it on the sideline. So we've actually got guys on the sideline that are asking for the ball when a guy catches it out there and trying to get those guys to give it to him, where at the end of the day, we're wanting guys to get the ball back inside. So just trying to create those scenarios as much as possible in practice. That's one of the most important things. And then, you got to be able to get the first down to play fast. You can't play fast if you're on the field for 3 snaps. So the 2 3 and outs were disappointing, obviously, but that's something we got to get better at.
Jeff, Sean Lewis, head coach at Kent State, you've got some history with. I understand that they did some off-season development down at Baylor with y'all. Can you just share a little bit about your relationship with him and sort of how you got to interact with him over the years?
Yeah, just excited for Sean, the situation, the position he's in. He's more than deserving. He's done an unbelievable job there. It goes all the way back to, I guess 2011 is probably when we first met, when he was at Eastern Illinois with Dino and came down and did some off-season stuff. And he's done an unbelievable job. He did a great job at Bowling Green, did a great job at Syracuse, and now obviously he's got those guys going at Kent State. So excited for him.
Do you see his offense? I know you don't watch their offense probably all that much, but when you do? Is it like, I don't know what they're trying to do?
Yeah, you recognize some of it for sure. There's some familiarity.
Far left side, John.
You had the quick another question about tempo. You had the quick 3 touchdowns and then the 2 quick 3 and outs. The next drive was 4 minutes. After that was, 2:40. And then almost a couple of scoring drives at almost 2 minutes, and then 1 5.5 minutes. I'm just wondering if that was a reaction to the 3 and outs, give your defense a break, communication with the coaching staff. Can you kind of describe that?
Talked a little bit about it after the game, but man, we've got to do a great job of playing complementary football. So just understanding the flow of the game, to me, that's my job. And you got to understand where we're at from a tempo standpoint, what we need to do maybe to give the other side a break so that they can catch their breath. So it's 21-10. Absolutely was very intentional about running the football and making sure we went down and got us a touchdown before half and playing in a way that where we were still playing fast, all right, but we weren't playing quite as fast as we were maybe those first couple of series. So understanding that is critical, and it's, man, that's my job.
I'm just curious, does that come from communication with the staff, or you look up at the scoreboard and recognize the numbers, time of possession numbers, and realize we got to do something different?
You can look at the time of possession, but I think it's all about feel too, and just understanding kind of how it's played out. Coach V is going to be incredibly involved in that as well. If he feels that we need to slow down, or if there's something where we need to take a break in the action, obviously he's going to say it, and I'm going to do it. It didn't get to that point on Saturday, but there's always communication between all of us to make sure that, man, we're putting the football team in the right position to go be successful.
Hey, Jeff, I wanted to ask you about your backfield, specifically Eric and Major. They both got on the field, had some success. What did you think about that dynamic? Were you happy with kind of where the split ended up by the end of the game between those two?
Yeah, I felt good about both those guys. I think we left some yards out there, but both guys played incredibly tough, and we took care of the football. Marcus had the 2 really tough runs down there in the tight zone, which were huge. He had the big explosive. Want it to be maybe a little more even. Eric's probably going to lead the way, obviously, from a touch standpoint, but Marcus is going to be right there clipping at his heels, and again, Marcus has done an unbelievable job, but expect both those guys to be ultra productive and play at a really high level, man. Feel great about where they're at.
Getting back to the complimentary football thing, how much did you and Brent talk, even in the interview process, about not just during the games, but given them on defense what they need in practice in terms of tempo and that sort of thing?
Right. I think, Coach V knew exactly, I truly believe this, he knew exactly what he was getting, and he was very pointed in what he wanted. And, that to me gives me all the confidence in the world and allows me to, to create a mindset on our side of the football of going fast, being aggressive, and, being dominant, and that's ultimately what we want to do. So he wanted that, and that's where we're at. But again, it's still, man, it's making sure everybody's put in positions of success. We're going to keep talking about it, keep having conversation about it, and make sure we're doing that on Saturdays.
Is that something, as this offense has evolved, that you've been able to kind of adjust better?
Yeah, without a doubt. Just situationally understanding and, being inside of it, I think, for so long now, giving me a great opportunity to have real growth. And again, it's just like the very first question was asked, man, you got to live experience, and have gotten that now, and I think better off for it.
Another one on Dillon and the tempo. When you've got guys like Eric Gray coming off the field saying it even surprises them how fast you move, how critical is having someone like Dillon there at the center of it all with his experience and his comfort?
It goes all the way back to January. Just his familiarity, his understanding of how we operate, how we do what we do is it's been critical in all of our guys' growth. And, when he's in the building, it's like having a coach in the building. So when he's around the guys, he's speaking the exact same language. And man, it's been huge to get us to this point.
Hey Jeff, I want to ask you about Braden Willis. Obviously, one of the more experienced guys in the group, someone who's talked about his, off the field leadership. But for him to match last season's total with 2 touchdowns on Saturday, I mean, just how good was that to see, and just how big is he going to be on the field for you guys this year?
Man, couldn't be happier for him. And said it after the game, but Coach Finley calls it football karma, and it's real. This dude is the same dude every single day. He's been an unbelievable leader. He's got toughness. He's got physicality. He's got high character. and he's earned it, man. And Coach V talks nonstop about our program being a program that's going to understand how to earn it, and he's done it. So fired up for him. He's going to have a great year and keep rolling.
Had to flip Anton over to the right side. What was it about him that you felt most comfortable sliding him over, and then how do you think he handled that?
Yeah, just the experience piece of it. Playing a lot of games where Tyler necessarily hadn't. He's been working at left and felt good about Tyler playing left, and then Anton moving over. Felt like that was the best thing for the unit and for the offense. So, played good. Got to play better. We all got to play better. We're not where we want to be up front. We've got to be more dominant and finish and be a little more violent than we were on Saturday. And Coach Beavenbowl get it done.
Kind of a follow-up to that, with the left-handed quarterback, is the right tackle in a way kind of like a left tackle with the traditional right-handed quarterback, especially with Anton, being one of the best guys you got there on the line?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that think about it that way. We have not, just because of how balanced we've been throwing and running the football, and from a protection standpoint, kind of how everything's put together. So not necessarily our mindset, but it is for a lot of people.
Before I ask my question, you mentioned tight ends. Do you have any update on Daniel Parker at all?
No, I don't. I'll leave that to Coach V for tomorrow.
And then also, I wanted to ask you, it's unusual at Oklahoma to have the offensive and defensive coordinator in the booth at the same time, and we're seeing that. And Andy asked you about complementary football just a second ago. Does that help having your defensive coordinator right there where you guys can run things through each other?
Well, there's not a ton of conversation. We're sitting right next to each other, but there's not a ton of conversation inside the game because both of us have so many things going on. But you get a feel for what's going on the other side of the ball maybe a little more because he's so active and obviously what's going on from play to play. So not a lot of conversation, but you get a real idea of how it's going.
Kent State, did they do anything on defense that's going to be a problem for you? Structurally, anything? What do they do on defense?
The first thing that jumps off the tape is these guys were down 38-20. It's probably 4.5 minutes left in the game. The game is over. Washington has the football and get a chunk play of about 12 yards. And at the end of the tape, you got 11 hats from Kent State around the ball. And it's outside the numbers where the ball ended up. So these guys, they are bought in. I think they've got great belief in what they're doing. They played fast and hard and physical, man, for 60 minutes. So a credit to them and to their staff, but that's what we're expecting Saturday night at 6.
Jeff, you're talking about playing tempo. You got to have that quarterback. But once that piece is in place, what's absolutely necessary next to play as fast as you guys want to play?
It's all about the O-line. The big guys that are 330 pounds getting set and getting in a stance and ready to come running off the ball. It's, we'll go as we go up front. We'll go as they go, and that's always been the case and still is.
How did you feel like they did in that regard on Saturday?
I felt like from a tempo standpoint, they were solid, really did. Rain did a nice job of having urgency and getting his feet set and letting everybody align off of him. Again, got to be better and will be.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.